Assalamualaikum my dear students, how are you? I hope you are all well by the grace of Almighty. Welcome to NIVS Home School. I am Ashis Biswas, an assistant teacher of mathematics in National Ideal Elevation School Morning Shift. Today I am going to take a math class for the student of class 6. Our today's topic is arithmetic. In our class we shall solve two CQ, CQ4 and 5. CQ4 will be your HW and CQ5 will be your CW in our class. My dear student, today is our lecture number 33 of annual term and today's HW number will be 32. So let us start our class. Before starting our class, at first we read the question. Question number 5. Alif can complete a piece of work in 20 days. That means Alif, a person who can complete a piece of work in 20 days. Khalid can finish the same work in 30 days. That means Khalid, another person who can finish that amount of work in 30 days. Their daily wages are taka 500 and taka 400. That means Alif's wages is 500 taka and Khalid's wages is 400 taka. After working 3 days together, that means Alif and Khalid are working together 3 days. Khalid completed the rest of the work alone. That means after working 3 days together, Alif left that place and Khalid completed that amount of work alone. So by using this system we shall solve question number A, B and C. Question number A is, what amount of work can Alif and Khalid do in one day? Okay. Question number B, how many days did the work get finished? That means the total work need how many days to complete it. Question number C, if each of them individually finish 5/16 portion of the work, find out the ratio of the wages they are entitled to. That means, my dear student, notice each of them individually finish 5/16 portion of the work. That means at first we find out the 5/16 portion of work is done by how many days. Then we multiply that days with their ages. After that we find the ratio. Okay, so let us start question number A. What amount of work can Alif and Khalid do in one day? Dear student, notice Alif can complete a piece of work in 20 days. That means into 20 days is given, but we want to convert it into 1 day. Similar way, we want to convert the work of Khalid in 1 day. Okay, so let us start our class. Here you notice Alif can complete a piece of work. That means we consider that the total work be one part. Now notice 5A, let the total work be one part. Okay, now in 20 days Alif can complete in 20 days Alif can complete one part of the work. Then in 1 day Alif can complete 1/20 part of the work. Now similarly we find the Khalid works in 1 day. In 30 days Khalid can complete one part of the work. Now in 1 day Khalid can complete 1/30 part of the work. Okay, now notice the question asks you to find that what amount of work can Alif and Khalid do in 1 day. Now we write in 1 day. Therefore in 1 day they can complete 1 by 20 plus 1 by 30 part. Part of the work. Now at first we find out the LCM of 20 and 30. What is the LCM of 20 and 30? Notice how can we find 20 and 30. 2, if we divide both number by 2, then we get 10 and 15. After that we divide this number by 5. Okay, now we multiply this number. 2 multiply 5 and it will be 10. 10 2s are 20. 23s are 60. So 60 is the LCM of 20 and 30. Now we divide this 60 by this 20 and we get 3. That 3 is multiplied with this 1 and we get 3 1s are 3. Plus we divide this 60 by 30 and we get 2. This 2 is multiplied with this 1 and it will be 2. Part of the work. Now notice we add, we get 5 divided by 60, part of the work. Now 5 1s are 5, 5 12s are 60. Now we write 1 by 12 part of the work and it is the answer. As our solution is done, now we write answer 1 by 12 part. That means Alip and Khalid can do in one day 1 by 12 part. Okay, I hope you have understood, my dear student. Next we shall solve question number B. To solve question number B, we need this information. That means in one day they can complete how many part. Okay, so before starting to solve this math, at first I write from A we get, from A we get in one day they can complete 1 by 12 part. Dear students, notice how many days did the work get finished. That means Alif and Khalid can do the works together in 3 days. After that Alif left the place and the rest amount of work is done by Khalid alone. Okay, so in 3 days how many parts will be done? So at first we find out. Here in one day they can complete 1 by 12 parts. So from this information I write in 3 days they can complete 1 multiplied by 3 divided by 12 part. Now I cut 3 1s are 3 and 3 4s are 12. That means 1 by 4 part. Dear students, this is the part. That means this is the work which is done in 3 days by them. Okay, now we find the rest amount of work which is done by Khalid alone. So how can we consider that the total amount of work is 1 part? So we subtracted this 1 by 4 part from 1 part and we get the amount of work which is done by Khalid alone. Okay, so write let total work 1 part. So the rest of the work 1 minus 1 by 4 part. So 4 is the LCM. We divide this 4 by 1 and we get 4. 4 is multiplied with this one and we get 4. 4 1s are 4 minus 4 is divided by this 4 and we get 1. 1 is multiplied with this one and 1 1s are 1. That means 3 by 4 part. I hope you have understood. Now my dear student, this work is done by Khalid alone. Now we find out this amount of work is done in how many days. Dear student, notice Khalid in Khalid can complete one part in 30 days. So Khalid can complete 3/4 part in 30 multiplied with 3/4 days. Now notice we cut this 2 2s are 4 and 2 15s are 30, and here 15 and 3 left. We multiply these two number and it will be 45 divided by 2 days. Okay, Khalid can complete 3/4 part in 45/2 days. Now we find the total amount of time. How can we add these 3 days with this 45/2 days and we find the required answer? So write total time. Three plus 45/2 days. Here 2 is the LCM. 2 3s are 6 plus 45. Now we add. If we add, then we get 51/2. My dear students, now we divide 51/2 and 2 2s are 4. 1 1 in 11, 2 goes in 5 times, that means 10. Subtract 1. So if I write this, then we get 25 into 1/2 days, and this is the required answer. My dear students, after that you write answer 25 into 1/2 days. Okay, my dear student, question number B is done. I hope you have understood question number B. Next we shall solve question number C. Question number C is, if they each of them individually finish 5/16 portion of work, find out the ratio of the wages they are entitled to. So notice, Alif can do a piece of work in 20 days. Okay, Alif can do a piece of work in 20 days. That means one part is done by Alif in 20 days. Then we find out this portion, that means 5/60 portion is done by Alif in how many days. After that we get a required days, then that amount of days is multiplied with their daily wages, and finally we get the wages of Alif. The same work is done to Khalid. Okay, after that we find out their ratio of wages. So before starting to solve this math, I erase question number B. Question number C. At first I divide into 2 pages. So first one, I write here, Alif can do one part of work in 20 days. Therefore Alif can do one part. The given part is 5/16. 5/16 part of work in 20 multiplied by 5/16 days. That means now we cut this number. 4 4s are 16 and 4 5s are 20. Now 4 as denominator and numerator is 5 5s are 25 days. So Alif can complete 5/16 part in 25/4 days. So now in one day Alif get wages how much taka? 500 taka. So write this 500 taka 500. Now in how many days? 25 by 4 days. In 25 by 4 days Alif get wages taka 500 multiplied with 25 by 4. Now we cut this 500 by 4 and we get 4 on the 4, left 1, that means 10. In 10 4 goes in 2 times. Subtract, then we get 2, that means 20. In 20 4 goes in 5 times, that means 125 multiplied with 25. So first of all notice, multiply 5 by 25 and we get 525 jar 125, and from that we write here 5 and carrying 12. 25 to jar 50, 50 and 12 62. So from that 62 we write here 2 and carry 6. 25 on jar 25 and 6 31. That means if I multiply 125 with 25, then we get 3125 taka, and it is the wages of Alif. Okay, similar way we find Khalid's wages. So write Khalid can do 1 part of work in 30 days. Okay, then Khalid can do how many parts? 5 by 16 parts. 5 by 16 parts of work in 30 multiplied with 5 by 16 days. Now we cut this number by 16 2, that means 8 2 jar 16 and 15 2 jar 30. Now we multiply this 15 with 5 and we get 75 by 8. Okay, I hope you have understood. Now my dear students, in one day Khalid gets wages how much taka? 400 taka 400. Then in 75 by 8 days Khalid gets wages taka 400 multiplied by 75 divided by 8. Now we cut this by this one by 8. 8 5 jar 40 and 0. So we multiply 50 with 75. Then first 0 is here. After that we multiply 75 by 5. 5 5 jar 25. Carrying 2. 5 7 jar 35 and 2 37. So taka 33,750. So Alif's wages is 3,125 taka and Khalid's wages is 3,750 taka. Now we find the ratio of their wages. So here I write the ratio of their total wages is 3,125 is to 3,750. That means notice 3125 by 3750. My dear students, this ratio sign means division. After that we cut this number by 125 and we get 25. Again we cut this number by 125 and we get 30. Now notice, in 25 5 goes in 5 times and in 30 5 goes in 6 times. So 5 by 6 and we write it 5:6. Okay, this is the required ratio and it is the required answer of this question. So as our solution is done, now I write answer 5:6. So my dear student, this is our today's CW and question number 4 will be your SW. Here 360 worker can construct an embankment in 25 days. A. How many workers can complete the construction in 1 day? Question number B. How many extra workers are needed to finish the construction in 18 days? Question number C. How many days will it take to complete the construction by 250 workers? So my dear students, you must do your assign SW in your SW copy and submit it regularly by your guardians. Your guardians or any other person can submit your SW in our school library in every Sunday within 8 AM to 4 PM. Okay my dear students, keep practicing at home, abide by your parents. See you soon. Till then, Assalamu alaikum.